Baggy jeans, yeah. Tight jeans, who knows? Try it out. Can't get hate on Tuesday. Yeah. Hi, welcome to another episode of Sticks and Stripe podcast. I'm Cooper Mueller, joined by Lane Calkins.
And today we are joined by two fantastic guests, Ryan Croddick and Amelia Hughes.
Hello, everyone. Ryan Croddick, senior goalie from Rumson, New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Amelia Hughes, also senior goalie from Wilton, Connecticut.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, guys. Can give a little quick recap of what's gone on in the men's world since we last met. Coming off 3 big wins in a row, we went down to Maryland and were able to come up with a big win against Maryland. First time that we've beaten them as a men's program since 2004. Croddick had an insane game-winning save right on the doorstep. I'm sure that everyone saw that clip online about 150 times, so I'm still seeing it. So that was amazing. And then last weekend had our ACC Ivy weekend where we play two ACC teams on Friday and Sunday. We played Syracuse on Friday, and we're able to really get our redemption back after they ended our season last year. So that was a really big win, which headmanned by Jack Stahl, who was able to shut down Joey Spallina a little bit, who was one of the best players in the country, held him to 0 points, and that propelled us into Sunday, where we were able to take down UNC, really a full team win, headmanned obviously by the big guy over here who had 25 saves, which was the first or most saves a goalie's had by 1988 in the game or something. We have the stat written down here. You're a few off from Cyrus Harin, who had 42 saves in 1952. So
you're almost there, though. You're pretty close.
There's no catching Cyrus.
But yeah, it's been an amazing couple weeks, so we can get into that. But Lane, give us a little.
Yeah. Again, it's been fun to open our season up. Definitely a little bit of a rougher week for us on the women's side, but still getting into things. We had a tough loss against Loyola for our first game of the season. What really ended up killing us was just the second quarter, but we ended up winning the game outside of that. But it was definitely fun to go down to Maryland and play some really good competition. As I mentioned last time, especially in women's lacrosse now, but we've always seen in men's lacrosse, it's just so much more competitive now, and really any team can win on any day, which is something that's super exciting, but something that you also have to watch out for. So I think we unfortunately came up on the short end of that, but definitely a good lesson, and you'd rather lose in February than lose in May. So along with that, we had our first win against Rutgers, home opener for the Jersey Cup, which was fun. Good to get our feet under us. It was freezing. It was so cold outside. The game started at 7 p.m. and it was 35 degrees, and there was a snowbank that was 10 feet tall on the other side of the field. But still a good game, came out the dub, and then we had another tough loss on Saturday to Maryland, lost 16-12. But we did have some good performances. Dylan Allen actually had her first goal of her career, a defensive goal off the clear, which is huge. That was probably the most exciting moment I've experienced throughout the season this far. And then Maggie Batch, who coming off the bench had 4 goals, which was truly a stellar performance. And just looking ahead to Harvard on Saturday, which is going to be opening up our Ivy games in a really exciting matchup that we're all looking forward to, specifically the sister matchup between Haven Dora and Halo Dora, playing for opposite sides of the field, which I'm sure Cody and all the commentators are going to be talking about a lot. But definitely going to be a fun weekend for lacrosse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited. You mentioned the snowbanks on the sideline. Thatcher, Bernstein, freshman, and I have a bet going on right now as to when the snowbanks will be completely gone. Really? I have March 27th. It's April 4th if you guys want to chime in a date that you think they will be fully gone. No snow on the sideline.
What's on the line for the bet?
That's still up for debate.
Okay.
It's nothing really. Kind of a firm handshake right now, maybe some pride, but if you guys want to throw a date out there that you think it'll be gone.
I don't know. The rain's definitely not helping.
No, the rain, it's
helping you, I guess.
Helping me.
What happens, what happens if it's before?
I think I win then.
Okay.
If it's before, I win. Any date after me, I would say that he wins. But it's getting pretty warm here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty warm this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe before you.
I know. I think it is going to be before
25th, 21st.
Yeah, I agree.
Meals?
I'd go 20th.
20th?
Yeah,
okay.
70 degrees.
We'll see who wins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess we can start off. Oh, I think another fun recap to talk about. 2 weekends ago, Cooper's band played at Cannon. Mm-hmm. So many people might not know this, but Cooper Mueller is in a band on campus, and they are stellar. They're really, really good. Cooper plays the guitar, and he's the lead singer. And they performed in Cannon Basement 2 weekends ago because Mark Marino, a junior on the men's lacrosse team, was elected to be the social chair cannon, which is really exciting. And along with that, Tyler Harris, another junior on the men's lacrosse team, was elected president of Cottage. So men's lacrosse just has a monopoly over Prospect Avenue right now. But really exciting. I know your gig was super fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. Thankful to be able to have Mark by my side. So it'll help us get a few extra gigs when you might have overstated our level of bands. So thanks, Mark can kind of slip us in there somehow. But yeah, it's been really fun and cool to see everyone on our team kind of taking some leadership roles across Prospect. So we can start with a little icebreaker here for you guys. What do you think within your team, what are you better at than anyone else in your team? What is something that you're kind of a killer at?
I don't know, I think there's been a little theme of rage baiting on our team recently. There's some, like, Coop's pretty good at it, I would say. Hunter Speece, we saw yesterday at practice.
Yep.
Getting chat, a little chippy. But if someone takes a bad shot, like, they know they took a bad shot. Like, I'll make it known to them, which is pretty funny.
It's definitely. Yeah.
I think my little skill would be Candy Crush. Kendall probably wants to say otherwise. She's pretty good at it, too. She's a secret grinder, but I think the two of us definitely have the rest of the team beat
Niels,
there.
what level are you on?
4,000 maybe. I was top 3% in Connecticut this year in the Candy Crush raft, so...
Yeah, the Ivy League goalie of the year before games sits with her headphones on and plays Candy Crush. Literally until like 2 minutes before we walk out of the locker room.
You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, whatever gets you locked in.
Coop, how about you?
I wish it was Clash Royale. Crod definitely has me beat in the Clash
There's
Royale.
some really nasty kids on our team.
Yeah, it's very competitive. We have a 50-person full clan on Clash Royale, which it's tough to beat. You're the president still.
Yeah, I'm the leader.
The leader.
Yeah. But I'm not the best, like, by no means.
We're getting close. I think, I'm one of the best Instagram reel scrollers on the team. That's for sure.
That's a fact.
I think I have the greatest For You page on Instagram. I really curated it, and it's just really dumb. And I think I send a lot of memes out, so I might be the best meme sender on the team. That's what my pride.
Yeah, odds are if you see a reel, Cooper Mueller has liked it. Like 90,
I like
95%
to like them all too.
Yeah. I would say one thing that I do for our team, which I can't really explain in full detail, is I write our teams like emails or like our schedules for like a game day, which is pretty much just like chirping everyone on our team along with like the other team. And it's not necessarily PG, so can't really
Your PPs?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
Yeah, our version of a PP. I've written them for the past 4 years. I wrote them like my freshman year just for our class, and now I write them for our team. Now I've kind of helped at Cottage a little bit with like our social chair, but I pretty much just like write these like super in-depth timelines and like predictions of like how the game's gonna go, how after the game's gonna go, everything. And honestly, I wish I didn't write those because then I'd probably be a lot farther in my thesis than I am right now. But
They've
it's
gotten
fun.
so
Very
long that she has
time-consuming.
to send them as like a PDF attachment because they won't send over email regularly.
Yeah, emails are limited to 25 gigabytes, and they're so long that they reach over 25 gigabytes. So I literally have to like share them as a Google Doc to our team. Again, like it would be so great if I could write my thesis like as quick as I write those, but alas, everyone has their things, and that's just one of mine. So
Writing 100 pages of social emails is one of your specialties. I like that.
Okay, so as many of you know, Ryan and Amelia are our two starting goalies on the men's and women's lacrosse teams, and they are also our dear friends. But I also think talking to goalies is funny and interesting because it's a position that's so different from every other position in the field. Like, if you come in as a midfielder, you can play attack and defense. You come as a defender, Dylan Allen, you can score goals. Like, as an attacker, you can like figure out how to play defense, but goalie is that one thing that it's like, unless you've been doing it your entire life, you're not gonna be able to figure it out, and like you can't necessarily go into other parts of the field. Although Amelia likes to joke that she's gonna be the new Fogo person for our team.
I'm ready.
So can you walk through the stories of how you guys kind of started off playing goalie? I know most people kind of just get like thrown into the net when they're 8 years old and they figure it out from there, but I always think it's fun to figure out how you guys started.
Yeah, I could start. Like you said, I kind of just got thrown in there. 7th grade, we didn't have a goalie on our team, so everyone would just have to rotate through for half the game. And during my time, I was like, oh, it's kind of fun. I could save a few of the balls. They were a lot easier to save then. But yeah, I just enjoyed it. And then I ended up continuing to split between goalie and midfield for the rest of the season. And then 8th grade, like for a club, they were like, oh, you need to pick between midfield and goalie, and I went with goalie.
I think everyone's story is pretty similar. I was like 3rd or 4th grade when I started playing lacrosse. Everyone's just like rotating at that point, like Amelia was saying. And then the next year, they're like, don't bring your regular stick. Like, just bring the goalie stick.
That's like when your coach is like, leave your cleats at home, or like,
Yeah.
leave your stick at home because you're going to run the entire
just
practice.
Like, put that thing away. So,
Identified early.
yeah.
That's funny. And because of that, because you guys are kind of like on your island, do you guys ever get FOMO during practice? You really, like, you hear people laughing or people are like joshing up during a drill, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I wish I was there.
We like to joke that like the goalies aren't part of the team sometimes. There's like a lot of traditions that we're like not a part of. Pre-practice meditation we were never in. But we do have a lot of fun, the 4 of us. I think we get to like talk and make jokes for the rest of practice while everyone else is playing because we're all behind the goal. So I think there's definitely FOMO, but then we kind of get to have our own little special time that nobody else is in.
Yeah, I like to think I'm not a goalie sometimes. Yesterday at practice, I was shooting on the other goalies with Coach Madelon, and it was just like so fun. But trying to live out my days as a midfielder or attackman as much as I can during practice.
Is it true that you played on Man Up?
In high school, there was a play for me in Man Up, and
Okay.
it never happened.
And like, would you do that with your goalie stick, or would you switch sticks with someone?
No, switch sticks. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Sometimes during practice, I'll look over. Yesterday,
Yeah.
great example. I look over. Crod's got his helmet off, gloves off, and is just ripping on the goalies for 15 minutes during position work. I was like, that looks pretty fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Pre-game, whenever we finish all of our defensive warm-up, we'll bring it up as a unit, and then some guys will shoot, and I look over, and Crod's ripping pre-game, like stepping down. I think it's so fun to just kind of be able to break out of that goalie sense, just start pinging from high.
Yeah. I'll get my goal.
Yeah,
I got to one-up Mike G, so
it's coming.
And what
it's
does he have,
coming.
2 career goals at Princeton?
he's got one.
He's got one.
He's got 1?
Yeah.
Didn't he
You had
miss
a lot
one?
of assists, though.
Yeah, I had 4 last year.
Yeah, a lot of assists. It's that up and out.
One to Coop.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah. So from your guys' position within practice, who is the best shooter on the team? Hardest shot to face? Croddick, I mean second hardest because obviously I'm number 1. But who would you say is the toughest shot to face on the team?
Apart from you, obviously. The best shot, I would say, is Nate.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like the most accurate, can move it around the cage the best. But like the shot I'd like to see the least is probably Twade.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he just like shoots it so hard and like with his like T-Rex arms, and like, you have no idea where it's going.
Yeah. Comes
and
out
it's, and
quick.
it's so it hurts a lot too.
Yeah. Believe it.
I'd probably say Maggie Batch is the hardest to find. She like gets her wrists in there. It's quick snap, quick release. But then also I think Jamie's is a tough one to face. You know exactly where it's going and you still can't get there. She's very crafty with it, so those two are definitely.
Also doesn't help that like by the time she gets over GLE, she just rips it behind the back before you even realize what's going on.
Yes,
So.
precisely.
Do you guys try to memorize where people shoot, like knowing when someone does this move, they're going to shoot to this spot, or is that kind of not part of your process?
I'd say not really. I mean, there's certain things like when you drop your hands certain ways, and girls like you have to shoot it low, can't really get back up, but not really anything player specific.
Yeah, I feel like I don't scout that much. A little bit against like teams will play, but like the guys you play with at practice every day, you kind of just know where they're gonna shoot.
Yeah, I feel like meals you kind of do it for 8 meters, but that's more so that you don't die every time we do them, and less of like
When lane
wanting to
shooting.
save shots. Like for 8 meters, meals can pretty much tell you where everyone's shooting. Especially there's like 8 girls on our team that can like rip it from the 8 meter, and at least once a practice, like someone is going to get hit in the spot that really hurts, and it's usually like Meals or like Elizabeth Ganella, and so they've just kind of learned that like if those people are shooting, you kind of just hug and pray.
Yeah. It's tough.
Also, I think an interesting fact about you both is you both come from like super athletic families, which is something a lot of people might not know. Like Croddick, your sister played field hockey at Stanford, and your brother currently is a D-mid. Is he still a D-mid?
Yeah.
At Colgate.
Yep.
And then Amelia, your sister plays lacrosse. She's actually a goalie at Lehigh. And then your 2 cousins play lacrosse at UNC in Michigan. And then you have another cousin that plays lacrosse at Rutgers. And then you have a cousin that plays D3 tennis at Bates. And then your brother played D3 lacrosse
Yes.
at Union.
The Rutgers one is soccer, but we actually
soccer. Yeah,
we tried to teach her one Easter how to play lacrosse. We told her she should go for a 5th year, but didn't work out too well for her.
So was it like super competitive growing up in your families, or like were you always just like playing sports and like playing in your front yard?
Yeah, I mean, me and my little brother like had beef growing up, just playing mini hockey, playing mini lax in the backyard. My sister, not as much. She was like a little scarier to us, a little older than us, but we kind of stuck together and had a lot of fights.
Always.
Yeah, kind of same with my family. Always playing like little games around the house, outside. I also went to high school with the other lacrosse cousins, so we were in town. We were always playing together, always playing every sport. So naturally, lots of competition there as well.
And I'm sure it helps growing up when your cousin is the number one recruit.
Yes.
Seeing shots and everything. So
Still going home for break, get shot on by all of them, but definitely very helpful.
So you guys coming in had 2 slightly different paths to the field. Amelia, you came in, started your freshman year, first game, second game had the most saves you've had in a single game as a freshman, which is really impressive. And Ryan, you came in as a freshman, had Mike G above you, legendary Princeton goalie, really good player, and then last year, we were able to step in, start immediately, had a 21-something save game against Penn State. Super impressive for both of you to be able to get out and start that early in the season, I guess. How was it coming in the first few times you stepped on the field, kind of from that different perspective as a freshman and then having seen a year under your belt? You guys.
I think I remember freshman year, the first games, I was definitely very scared. Lots of emotions going in, very nervous. Didn't want to let my team down, especially since it felt like everyone was a lot older than me. And I also remember it's a lot of like big names that you see on TV when you're growing up, and then all of a sudden you're like thrown on a field with all of them. We opened with UVA, so it was like a lot of those girls were like very well known. So I was definitely super scared, but just tried to play well for my teammates around me.
I think for me going in, I kind of knew through my recruiting process that I probably wasn't going to play my first 2 years. Mike was the number 3, I think, player in his class.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was great to come in and be behind him, like perspective-wise. And when I ended up getting the start my junior year, it felt like I had so much time to like prepare for that moment. I just had to take advantage of it. And so just right from the get-go, it was pretty easy, I think, just from a perspective standpoint, just taking advantage of because I only got 2 years to play.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I guess because goalie, I think, is a particularly like mental position. How would you guys say that like your mentality's changed? Like Meals, you were kind of just thrown in there, but Croddick, that's like 2 years is a long time, but also like it passes by in a way. Like how has your mentality shifted, or like how did it start, and like is it the same now, or like has it changed at all?
I think I'm definitely a lot more confident now, definitely a lot more composed as well. I feel like I can see what's going on with the defense more and like better communicate with them all throughout than I was as a freshman. But I think other than that, it's pretty much the same, just like trying to help out everyone around me and trying to like, the ball goes in, remember that ball's going to come right back down. You got to be ready for it.
Yeah, I think for me, like, my mentality changed significantly from freshman year to when I began starting my junior year, but even from last year to this year, it's totally changed. I think we got a lot of younger guys on defense this year, so kind of stepping into more of a leadership position as opposed to last year. I was kind of just a little quieter, just doing my job, saving the ball, but definitely a lot louder this year, and it's been pretty fun.
Yeah, it's definitely been nice having that kind of senior anchor at goalie. Something that's really cool, being like kind of the quarterback of our defense, telling us all where to go. A lot of times, as Coach Hurst says, we don't have eyes in the back of our head, and most of the time you're the eyes in the back of my head, which is really nice to kind of have that voice that's always letting us know where to go.
Yeah, and it's, I think, been fun kind of like lineups change, people change on the field, but like always having Meals out there, I think, has been like a center point of our class, and just like basically like our entire careers kind of like growing with her and evolving around her is super interesting, especially as like someone that's like played defense and also played offense and then like also played midfield. Just like always having Meals back there is something that I think has been like super fun, and it's kind of gotten us to the point where we can be like super comfortable with her. Like after the first save that Meals makes in any game, Kendall Dean from like the sideline always points at her and is like, Meals, like tries to get her attention, is like, you ate, like Meals, you ate. Like from like every game without fail, and it's so funny. But like just kind of getting used to like having you in there has been so much fun, and like seeing you grow and like gaining your voice has been super interesting, especially because like as a freshman, obviously like you're a little quieter, but now you're like jumping in a cage, making interceptions, like someone scores on a shot, you walk up to them, you're like, don't do that, things like that. So that's definitely been cool.
Should we break into the Instagram questions?
Yeah, let's break into Instagram questions. So for those who either are not on social media or don't follow us on social media, we posted some graphics asking to ask the goalies some questions. So we're going to ask some of your guys' most pressing questions to Amelia and Ryan right now.
First one from J Baril 1. Who is the toughest shooter you've ever faced?
I think for me last year we played Duke. Ben Johnson was shooting high bouncers from like 18 yards, and they were going in on the grass, and I there was literally nothing I could do, and I was just like, this stinks. This sucks.
A couple of those were definitely my fault.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Do you have any thoughts on who it could?
I'm just... I honestly, like, I just come back to Batch, even, like, though she's our teammate, just because for those that haven't necessarily watched Batch play, she's the type of person that gets the ball and somehow, like, gets her arms around your entire body and shoots around, like, 8 people, which I'm sure for you, like, isn't super easy to save, but...
Like, mid-roll, too.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, other teams.
Did you guys play UNC last year?
Oh, yeah. We did. I'm trying to think. I don't think there was anyone on. I think they had like a pretty balanced score sheet at the end. Like
yeah, it wasn't
pretty
necessarily
well
like these.
across.
I mean, they're crazy.
I want to say
shooters.
probably someone when we played BC the year before, maybe.
Oh, like Rachel Clark coming down from the center.
Oh, Rachel Clark. We played her a bunch of times.
Yeah.
She always has a day on us, unfortunately, on me. So that's always been tough. She was one on that UVA team when we played the first game freshman year, and then again on BC when we lost to them in the tournament. Sophomore year.
Yeah.
She's a very good shooter, but
yeah, Meals actually made a doorstep save against her own cousin when we played UNC. Like she got the ball off of like a failed clear. She's wide open. She's running on the field, and Meals just like stuffs her, which was so funny.
She got me back at the end of the game, so
yeah,
we're even now.
Yeah, she ended up scoring, but it was just such a funny moment to watch. Okay, Avery Mechin, I don't know. Says, why did you pick Princeton for college? And I think there's a lot of obvious reasons, so if you have any non-obvious reasons, shoot them.
It's a pretty loaded question. Well, obviously, like academics, athletics, but I'm only an hour away from here, which is pretty nice. Be close to home, sort of as far as you make it, but also I feel like in the recruiting process, I didn't really have another choice, so found my home here.
A little similar to you, like obviously very good school, very good lacrosse, and also was driving distance from home, which was big for me. But I mean, there wasn't really anything else aside from that really.
Yeah. A funny story about our recruiting process is that Princeton does this thing where like you're not really allowed to post until the coaches tell you can, because they don't want to freak out other girls that like they haven't really decided on yet, or they're still trying to work through their offers and who they want. So they're like, if they offer you right away and you commit, they're kind of like, please hold off on posting. We don't want to freak other people out. So Meals and I think I committed like pretty early on, like within the first couple of days, especially because we were getting recruited during COVID, so there were no official visits. So it was kind of just like, we can't really show you anything. So if you want to come here, you want to come here. If you don't, you don't. And Amelia ended up posting like a week later. And I was like, oh my gosh, I guess we're finally allowed to post. So then like I posted, and then like I think Haven posted, like literally like because Amelia posted on Instagram, like the 5 girls in our class that committed, like all just ended up posting without any of the coaches telling us it was okay. But like I saw Amelia's post, and I was like, I guess we can post now.
I got the all clear like right before that. That was like the day where it was like, oh, that's okay to post on. But I remember all of you guys, all my friends from home were like DMing me your post, especially. Yours was like right after mine. And so everyone was like, oh, you have a friend now.
That's funny. I think mine was a little interesting. I got recruited super late. The rules that you can start September 1st of your junior year, I switched positions from offensive midi to defensive midi junior season, so I didn't talk to any coaches till after my junior season. And I was coming here in the summer, and because my dad went here, my sister went here, I almost wanted to do my own thing and kind of like blaze my own trail, if you will. And so I kind of was coming here like, okay, it's best school in the country, obviously very strong lacrosse, but maybe I'll do my own thing. And at the end of the visit, I was about to commit. In mid-visit, didn't tell my parents. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come here. And Coach Madelon was sitting in the office, and he was like, kind of brought it up naturally. Like, some guys, they want to commit mid-visit. I tell them not to. I was like, all right, don't commit. And I left, walked out of the building. I told my parents, like, I'm coming here. And they were like, what? Kind of freaked out a little bit, definitely surprised them, and then ended up calling all the coaches the next morning. But during my visit, I just knew I couldn't say no.
Yeah, we didn't get visits.
We didn't get visits.
We got a Zoom call where they gave the Princeton stats and.
Yeah, well,
Cool,
I was committed to Richmond.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're a deco.
Yeah, which was a fun process.
Would you say that like Matt being a head coach here was a main drawing factor just because he was a goalie, or would you just say it was like?
I mean, 100%. I think he's easily draws like any guys that come here. He's the nicest, most stand-up guy ever. I think Amelia knows him pretty well a little bit too.
Yeah, you train with his brother, right?
Yeah. He's been my coach for a long time.
But yeah, he's the man, and it was easy yes.
Like in your grade, there's a lot of decommits.
There's 5.
Yeah.
Zach was going to Syracuse, Coop Kistler was going to Brown, and then JMO and Kaner were going to Colgate.
That's so crazy. That never happens on the girls' side, really.
We have no one.
You don't hear that much, I feel like.
No, I mean, the only like strange thing for our class was Maggie Molinar was supposed to be in the year above. And then she took a gap year just because of like the whole COVID thing and people taking gap years here and there just like weren't enough roster spots, which thank God, because we would not be the same without Maggie Molinar. But yeah, it's just no one really flips anymore for girls, I think. Or like it never really did in the first place, but it's just such a thing for men's lacrosse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big.
And it's weird to think about because it would be so different without all those guys.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Ryan, this is kind of a question that's specific for you. It's from Asher Gazer 15. How the heck did you make 3 saves on the doorstep against UNC?
I think I got asked this question yesterday, and it took me like a minute to even think about the play. And like someone like walked it through for me, and I was like, I pretty much blacked out, I think. And just got hit like 3 times in a row. Lucky, I guess.
Do you guys like black out when you're making saves, or do you know what's going on as they're shooting? Or would you say it depends on like where they're shooting?
I think it totally just depends on like when in the game it is. Like the save against Maryland, I totally blacked out. Like I almost threw up before. Oh. Like walking to the cage, I almost like threw up.
Wow.
Meals, how about you?
I feel like I pretty much remember most things, but black out a few of them. But I feel like for the most part, I could probably walk through every shot that happens in the game right after, whether it goes in or saves.
And kind of on that note, are you both like goalies that keep tabs? Like, could you walk out of a practice and be like, these people scored these goals against me today? Or you just kind of like flush it? I don't need to think about it.
Not as much like against people, but like she said, like you can remember every goal that gets scored on you, or every shot you let in or save. So I think it's just like a mental thing you keep track of when you're a goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think also it's fun to like, let's say Lane's shooting on me. If she like gets 2 in a row on me, like it's kind of motivation for me to be like, oh, Lane's got me twice now. I got to get her back. So I think like playing little competitions in your head. It does sometimes.
Yeah, you definitely have those people in practice. You're like, I'm not letting them score. Like it like pisses me off so much. There's like some guys that are super obnoxious when they score too.
Like who?
Like Burnsy,
yeah,
Chad. You like love stuffing them, and then you'll throw the ball back at them.
How would a David Smith goal go over?
He's never scored on me. He's had a couple. He drilled me in the face this fall, and he had a pretty funny shot a couple weeks ago.
He's working on it. He's got 2 months left.
Yeah.
He's going to get it done.
Ryan, is that eye black for you new, or have you always done that? I feel like you kind of changed
No,
that.
I changed to triangles against Maryland. And
okay, and you're just sticking with
and
it.
same with the mustache, so.
Yeah. I just remember,
Mustache is here to stay.
I think your freshman year, when like Mike G was in cage, you did whiskers for
yeah,
the Rutgers game. You did like a little nose and you did 3 whiskers.
Yeah, and we lost, and I was like, I had to like rub it off my face. And then I did that sophomore year. I think we won.
Yeah.
And then one game freshman year, I wrote like RAR across my face. Oh my gosh. Like RAWR. And I would like, during like the pregame speech, I'd always keep my helmet on so like the coaches couldn't see. But then like people would be like, what is on your face? Like, that's insane. And then after the games, I just like try to like rub it all together so no one noticed. But
You
it was
thank
just
God
like,
you're normal.
yeah. I wasn't playing. It was a fun thing to keep it exciting.
That's awesome.
Fun. Okay, should we wrap it up? Is there anything you guys want to talk about that we haven't touched on? I feel like we're pretty good on time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
I'll do the little wrap up thing.
Cool.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us today for our second episode of Six and Stripes, and thank you to Ryan and Meals for coming on today and being such lovely hosts. I'm Lane Calkins, and this is my co-host Cooper Mueller, and we will see you next time. Please tune into our games. The boys are playing Rutgers this Saturday at home at noon, and we're playing Harvard this Saturday at noon at Harvard. So really excited weekend ahead. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.